Yo, what up? Day 4. It's already going a little fast, this little challenge here. It feels like I started it like 20 minutes ago. We're already on day 4, so that's crazy. I'm trying standing up, because I always have a hard time focusing and figuring out what I'm going to say when I sit down. So we're going to try this now, see if it works. But pretty much, very simple thing today. I just wanted to talk about how effective and how vital, even for me now, using just a simple timer to keep myself in focus during a practice session is to just increasing productivity tenfold in comparison to just saying I'm going to practice this for maybe a half an hour and then you sit down and practice it, just eyeballing the time on your computer or on your phone or whatever. Actually putting down a timer that's concrete and counts down to the second perfectly for you. It sounds really dumb, but it's actually insanely just helpful in actually keeping yourself as focused and as productive as possible. Because what it does is it takes away sort of the confusion or sort of the, not really mysticism, but usually when you're saying, oh, I want to sit down and practice this for a bit, you know, sometimes it'll feel like you've been practicing for maybe 5 minutes and then it's ended up being an hour. But then sometimes you feel like you've been practicing like forever and you're really starting to get worn out and it's only been 20 minutes and you want to practice for an hour. It really is kind of a mental game when you don't have a clock running. And when you have a clock running, you can kind of like, no matter what mood you're in or what your mental space is, you can look at it. You can say like, oh shit, 30 minutes has already passed. That's crazy. Or if you're like practicing for 45 minutes, you set on a 45-minute timer, and then as soon as you hit it, you start, okay, I'm going to start practicing now. And then you do it. You're 20 minutes in, and you feel like, shit, it feels like it's been two hours, but then you look up and you still have 25 minutes left. It's like, fuck, like I still have to I'd still have to go so much farther. But it helps to either kind of humble you and put you in perspective of you know, 45 minutes does not, it feels like a lot longer than it actually does normally when you're actually just practicing. Like it makes 45 minutes can feel a lot longer than you think it would when you're actually just focused in your practice of whatever you're doing. So using a timer when you're practicing is pretty much equivalent to if you're working out, if you have an app that lets you write down, or if you just use a journal where you write down your reps and sets, and then you have a timer that goes off for your rest time between sets. It does the same thing. It takes away all of the anxiety and all the confusion and all the wondering that would be stuck in your brain if you're just doing it all by yourself, not tracking anything or not keeping an eye on the time with a timer. It makes it feel like everything is based off of feel, and feel changes constantly. So your input of practice is going to be very inconsistent throughout days because it's just going to be based off of feel. Because like I said, sometimes you're going to be feeling like 20 minutes has felt like 2 hours, and sometimes you're going to feel like 2 hours has felt like 20 minutes. It's really up to just how you're feeling that day or how your hands are doing or whatever. So having that timer really locks you into staying very consistent every day. And no matter how you're feeling or what your mindset is fluctuating for your ability to actually play, the timer will keep you in track. It'll either remind you how much longer you have to go, or you'll, get to that end point and you'll be like, oh shit, it's been 30 minutes. Okay, time to go to the next thing. Because sometimes you'll be sitting there doing one thing for a lot longer than you need to, getting diminishing returns, when you should be going to the next thing in your practice session, whatever that may be. So one thing I guess the actionable step for this, pretty obvious within itself what it is. Just next time you intentionally sit down to practice a specific thing, whether it's a song, you're practicing playing a song better, getting it up to speed, or a new practice routine with exercises or whatever it is, just set a timer. Feel out how long you want to practice for. Let's say you're on a good day, you got some extra time on the weekend. I'm going to sit down and practice this new scale for an hour. Just whatever you do on your phone or on Windows or Mac, whatever the fuck. Just open up the clock function and set a timer for that amount of time, and then just hit it. And then once you hit it, start practicing. And then just stay in focus until you hear that timer ring. Sometimes you can look at it, whatever, it doesn't really matter, just to check, see how long you've been doing it. But Yeah, I mean, I'm just telling you, once you have a timer running for you, you don't have to think about how long you need to do it. You know that the timer's got it for you. You know how long you need to practice for has already been set in stone, and it'll take care of that. Just like there's just so much anxiety and so much just unsureness, whatever the word is for that, that just completely leaves you, and you can takes another just factor and problem out of your head, so your brain is more empty to get more in the zone of actually just practicing and just getting in that flow state, I guess you could say. So that is really just my piece of advice with this is if you haven't done it before and you don't do it consistently, you haven't done it in a while, whatever the situation is, just pull up a timer next time you get in the practice. Set however long you want to practice the thing for. Just hit it and then don't stop until that timer goes off. And I promise you are going to 10x your productivity, your input, and your ability to improve just by that simple thing. It has completely changed my ability to improve and just practice in general. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you tomorrow for whatever comes then, I guess. Whatever magic wisdom I have for that day. Time's up.